all of you here today, and I'm pretending to see everyone in all the overflow rooms. I see you. How excited were you to see our brand new Vice President, J.D. Vance, speak at the March for Life yesterday? And how excited were you that President Trump fulfilled his campaign promise, released 23 pro-life prayer warriors, including a Students for Life alum from federal prison yesterday? How excited were you to finally hear that the Department of Justice said it's time to end the prosecution of pro-lifers with the FACE Act? And last night, you may not have seen it because you guys were partying in the lobby. Did you see that President Trump issued a new executive order banning taxpayer dollars from funding and promoting abortions overseas? I mean, are you tired of winning yet? Thank you, President Trump. In fact, I know the president doesn't get a lot of praise from the pro-life movement sometimes. Apparently, I'm kind of a hard ass. So I thought we'd do something new. Today, I want to film a short video thanking President Trump, and we'll put it up on social media. So when I go like this, all I need you to do is stand up and shout as loud as you can, "Thank you, Mr. President." Will you do that? Okay, all right. Kristan, don't mess this up. All right, ready? Ready? President Trump, you freed the peaceful pro-life protesters. You issued an executive order banning taxpayer dollars overseas of abortion. You even pulled us out of the pro-abortion WHO. We, the pro-life generation, gathered at the National Pro-Life Summit, have one thing to say to you. Thank you, All right, settle down. We got work to do. Now, I hope you came here today ready to learn how you can lead the pro-life revolution and abolish abortion on campuses, in your communities, at your churches, at your state houses. But you all know that I don't hold a lot of things back. Apparently, you can see what I'm thinking a lot of times on my face in those videos. So first, I want to start out today with a little bit of real talk. Being at the Supreme Court on June 24th, 2022, and having that privilege to be the first person in the world to read aloud, "The Constitution does not confer a right to abortion. Roe and Casey are overruled." It was a humbling honor, an unforgettable moment in time. Yet, it was a relatively easy thing to do. I just had to show up and shout. It was pretty easy compared to what must come next. There's been a lot said about the pro-life movement in the last 2.5 years since that Dobbs decision. Some say our mission was achieved with Roe's reversal. Those people are about as clueless as the ones I debate on your campuses. Others look at the maddening stats and see that we have relatively the same amount of abortions in America as we did before Roe was reversed. Or they see these feckless politicians on Capitol Hill who used to always say that they were pro-life, saying they're not going to lift a finger now to save babies. And they use that as proof to say, well, the pro-life movement is dying. Do we still face immense challenges? Absolutely we do. But guess what? Those people are clueless too. Some will erroneously say abortion is merely a state's issue. They obviously haven't read the Dobbs decision because it says abortions return to the people and its representatives, and there's about 535 of them right up on Capitol Hill. They were working late last night. That means we got a lot of work to do. And by the way, abortion is federal if you're paying for it, Elon. We give Planned Parenthood $700 million every year of our taxpayer funds. That should be project number 1 for Doge. I never did buy that Bitcoin, and I'm regretting that now. One of you needs to pull me aside today and figure this Bitcoin thing out. I don't understand it. But we are facing We are facing some real challenges, not just verbal challenges, right? Thanks to a reckless Biden-Harris FDA, we face the proliferation of chemical abortion pills, which are the leading cause of infant death in our country, empower rapists and sex abusers to cover up their crimes, lead to injury, infertility, and death of women, and, as Students for Life has proven, lead to the pollution of our tap water with anti-progesterone metabolites in your drinking water because we are flushing down the toilet 600 to 800,000 deceased children every year who've been killed from these deadly pills. You never thought about that, did you? We have spineless political leaders who believe that now standing with the pro-life movement is going to spell electoral defeat for them, which we've proven over and over again is wrong. This week in Kentucky, we had 3 Republicans introduce a bill to amend their Abortion Prevention Act that doesn't allow any abortions to add abortion back into their state law. Yeah, Students for Life is going to have something to say about that. Speaking of misinformation, we're flooded with it. You all are flooded with it every single moment of the day on your phone and on campuses, telling us women will die in the parking lots of hospitals. AOC, I want to debate her so bad. We hear things like that the pro-life movement is unwilling or unable to serve those women facing unplanned pregnancies. And all these lies come from those who are selling abortion. They sell her the lies. They sell her the lie that she needs abortion to succeed in order to profit from her despair. But the biggest challenge we face, which, by the way, all these other challenges, we have breakouts here today at the National Pro-Life Summit, which will teach you how to fight and win, so go to all the breakouts. If you're in a big group, split up because there's too much information. You're not going to get it all. The biggest challenge you and I face is that we proclaim to serve a God who spoke the universe into existence, but then when someone says, we're going to abolish abortion, we go, I don't really think that's possible. It can't be done. Men and women, you must reject the lies that Satan whispers to us, the lies that spark fear of anything besides the one who created us, and the sin of disbelief. You know, our Jericho, the Roe v. Wade decision, it's fallen. But that was just the first of many conquests we have to make in order to reach the promised land, a land where abortion is unthinkable and unavailable. And there's a lot of cities we got to conquer on the way. But we can do this. I believe with all my heart it's going to be up to us, those of us here gathered today, who are constantly targeted by the predatory abortion industry, to lead this pro-life revolution, to achieve the goals of our grandmothers and our foremothers in the pro-life movement, to reach that day when abortion is illegal and completely unthinkable throughout our land. What we're part of, by the way, the pro-life generation, I love that picture of J.D. Vance yesterday. It was great. This pro-life generation is much more bigger than a social movement. For defending the sanctity and the intrinsic value of every human life from the moment of conception is a spiritual mandate. How do I know this? It's because it's written right there in the Lord's Prayer. We pray that God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Men and women, we are his army, citizens of heaven, whose mandate it is to bring heaven's values here to earth. That first one, that most important value is that every human being is made in his image, created with intrinsic value and purpose at conception. And by the way, this includes you. You were created with intrinsic value and purpose. And today, my prayer for you is that you each find that purpose. No human rights movement wins without an army of fighters. It's literally the key ingredient of all the social movement victories in our American history. You must have the largest, the most well-trained, the most activated army to win. And guess what, guys? That's the pro-life generation. You've been called here by name to join us in the fight. And we've got a lot of battles and a lot of cities to conquer. We must take and hold ground at every university and high school campus. We must position the pro-life generation and pro-life champions in state houses and on Capitol Hill who will serve him first and then our pro-life movement and party down here all the way at the bottom. We must kick Planned Parenthood to the curb everywhere in our society, including our schools. We must ensure President Trump's new administration finishes the job to finally debar Planned Parenthood for their crimes and defund them with from our taxpayer dollars. This would cripple the abortion Goliath. President Trump must be convinced that he needs to stop funding his political enemies and tell Planned Parenthood to do what? Good job, Mom. Go fund themselves. Even my mom got it. We must ensure every college and every high school has a public promoted pathway of success for pregnant and parenting young people, so no woman ever again feels like she has to choose between her life or her education. We must revive community pro-life activism in our churches, in front of the abortion facilities. Join Students for Life's campaign for abortion-free cities, which is door-knocking, promoting local, nonviolent pregnancy resource centers, which, by the way, 75% of our neighbors don't even know we exist. We must stop the proliferation of chemical abortion pills using innovative tactics like the Clean Water Act. We must advance laws that support moms and families to choose life. Expanded child tax care credit, anyone? Paid family leave. I'm not just saying this because I have 4 kids. We know when we poll this generation, if young people, Gen Z and Gen Y, say, if they knew every mother had the resources and had the support to choose life, ending abortion becomes a 70% issue. That's way over what we need. So, we got to get started. Men and women, you are the modern Davids in this fight, working tirelessly, being outspent, outgunned, fighting constantly back against the lies on social media, against the lies that we hear from the mainstream media, against Hollywood elites, fighting back against First Amendment violations on your campuses, pressuring and holding political leaders who started serving in office before you were born to do their dang job. To get started, I have 6 kind of things I think you can do and keep in mind as a David in this fight. 1, believe in an almighty God who spoke the universe into existence, and through him will bring us victory. That seems like the easiest, but it is the hardest. And the older you get, the harder it becomes. 2, use the spiritual gifts you were given. Not everyone has a gift of getting excited by people yelling at them. That's okay. Find the spiritual gift you were given and use it to find your niche, your calling in the pro-life movement. And by the way, the entire pro-life movement is here today. If you go out to the exhibit hall, the entire pro-life movement is there for your choosing. Conquer your fear of failure. You're going to fail. You're going to stumble. Some do it more publicly than others. Mine's always recorded, and then you guys get to comment on it on TikTok and Instagram. It's lovely. You won't probably fail in public like that, so what do you have to fear? By the way, if he's with us, like, what really do you have to fear? Except that you will be facing a well-funded, a more experienced, bigger opponent, and embrace the challenge. Just get over it. Quit complaining. Go on the offensive. Don't wait for them to attack. You go on the offense on your campus. We'll go on the offense at the state capitals. And by the way, have fun and innovate while doing it, because they won't know what hit them. Just like the David we all grew up hearing about at Sunday school, the nobody, not yet the King David, the young man who lacked the battle experience, he lacked the confidence from his peers to even be successful. Think about him. He put down the sword and innovated to attack the Goliath in a new way. He never wavered in the belief that the great I Am would deliver him. Men and women, proudly be the Davids he has made you to be. And when you commit to going all in to lead this pro-life revolution, don't worry. Your story of activism, your weapon of choice, as I said, it probably won't look like mine. But your slingshot, your stones, well, they don't have to be a bullhorn and TikTok dances, Lydia. They don't have to be that. But I have no doubt that your stones will be even more deadly to the abortion Goliath.